We can wait 2-3 minutes more, ma'am. I think it's 5.
Okay, yeah, it's 4:58, so we can wait for 2 minutes.
We are live. आपने बोला तो मैं कर दिया.
अच्छा कोई बात नहीं. It's okay. So a very good evening to one and all, and I welcome you all to this seminar on the Pgdm program for working executives from IMT Ghaziabad. So, like in the past weeks, we've been talking about the program. We've been talking about IMT Ghaziabad. So I'll be again talking about IMT Ghaziabad today. But before that, let me introduce my colleagues here and my team. So I have my colleagues, Professor Harvinder Singh. He is the professor of marketing in the area of marketing, and he also heads the placement at IMT Ghaziabad. So a very warm welcome to you, Professor Singh, and thank you so much for joining in on a Saturday evening.
Thanks, Dr. Agrawal, and hello, everyone.
My next colleague is Professor Santosh Srivastav. He is a faculty member, a professor in the area of analytics at IMT Ghaziabad. And thank you again, Professor Srivastav, for joining in today on a weekend. And,
thank you, Professor. Good evening, everyone.
I am also joined by my colleagues in the administration, Ms. Rinku Hanspal, whom you might have met or you might have been talking to, who is looking after the admissions of the Working Executive Program, and my colleague, Mr. Bhupender Singh, because of whom this session is possible, because he is handling all the IT-related stuff here. So thank you, everybody, for joining. A quick brief about IMT Ghaziabad. So I don't think, though, IMT Ghaziabad needs any introduction. It is one of the premium B schools in the category of private business B schools in India, consistently ranked as one of the top B schools by various ranking agencies. Started in 1980, this program is accredited by this institute rather is accredited by multiple ranking agencies, including NAC, including SAQ and AACSB. A very long list of alumni, very prestigious list of alumni, a very strong corporate support, huge international partnerships, a very good placement record, and a very contemporary program architecture. Some of these features, I'm not talking about all of the features, but these are some of the features because of which IMT Ghaziabad stands apart from the other B schools in the vicinity. Talking about the Pgdm program for working executives, this program started in 1981. So we are talking about approximately 42 years of legacy here. And I'm sure you will agree that a program that is running for the past 41 to 42 years might be having a very strong presence in the market. Otherwise, it would not have been able to sustain for such a long time. So again, a huge illustrious list of alumni, and possibly one of the oldest programs in the executive education space in the Delhi NCR region. Also, one of the first programs to be accredited by AACSB in the working education space, working executive education space again. AACSB, when I say, I mean to say that there are multiple accreditation and ranking agencies. Some might be India specific and some are internationally known and internationally accepted. AACSB is the crown of all accreditations internationally. So there are basically 3 accreditations: AACSB, EQUIS, and AMBA. So AACSB is the most difficult and the most premium accreditation that way. So IMT Ghaziabad was amongst the first 5 B schools in India who got this accreditation, and if I'm not wrong, probably the first B school in India which got the AACSB accreditation for this program as well. Though I'm not very sure on this, but that's my estimate. Anyways, so I was talking about the program. So as I was saying, 42 years of legacy, a very illustrious list of alumni, a very contemporary program architecture again, opportunity for international immersion every year. So these are some features which set the program apart. I think all of those who are watching this live stream right now, one time or the other, you might have been a part of the webinar or the offline engagement that we have been holding for you. So I'm assuming that you already know about the program. Having said that, let me give a quick recap about the program. So as you might be aware, from this year, AICTE has mandated that all Pgdm programs be 2-year programs. Now, this gives you a huge opportunity because a program which was a 3-year program till now, becomes a 2-year program. So obviously, you save one whole year of the academic career here. So earlier it was a Pgdm part-time program. Now it is Pgdm working executive program. Earlier it was a 3-year program, as I said. Now it is a 2-year program. Earlier in 3 years, you were supposed to have a formal classroom delivery of 900 hours. When I say 90 credits, we defined each credit as a 10-hour credit. Now you study, though the program is 2 years, but the richness of the program has been made higher. So you study 105 credits, which means 1050 hours. Earlier, it was completely offline. Today also, it is completely offline. I don't want anybody to think that the program is blended. But why I say it is blended is because approximately 50 hours of tutorial support, not the classroom delivery, but approximately 50 hours of tutorial support is given in the online platform, live online platform. So because I don't want my participants to be confused in any way, I still have retained that it is a blended program, not blended exactly as I said. The program is completely offline, only 50 hours of tutorial is in the live platform. Earlier, it was a general management program. So every time, whenever we revise the program structure, we seek inputs from all our stakeholders, be it our current students, be it our passed out students, that is our alumni, be it our corporate partners. And we focus a lot, since this is a program for working executives. So, and the average work experience that we have every year on year in our classes of approximately 7 to 8 years. So when we go to the industry every time talking about a program which has a participant average experience pool of 7 to 8 years, we always get the feedback that, it is a good idea to hold a program in a general management mode, because these are participants who are looking for career acceleration and not for career beginning. And the higher you go up in your career ladder, the more generic your role becomes. So with this logic, the program had been a general management program. However, this year, when we started to revisit the program architecture, when we went back to the industry, we got a feeler, and also from our current stakeholders, that is the current participants. So there was this feeler, there was this feedback that, it might be a good idea to do a specialization-based program, but these participants, because these are again, experienced participants, so they may not be looking forward to a domain-based specialization, because that is more for the entry-level participants. So then we at IMT Ghaziabad, my colleagues sitting here and some of my other colleagues, we brainstormed together, how do we incorporate specializations yet not go to the domain-based specializations? So then we came up with the concept of track-based specialization. These are career track-based specializations. Let me complete this and then I will explain this in more detail. Earlier in the program, there were no professional certifications. So when I say professional certifications, I do not say those certifications which IMT or any B school will give you a certificate of. No, these are professional certifications issued by, or given by professional certification agencies. So let us say a certification of Six Sigma. Let us say a certification of, again, a KPMG certification, which will lead to a Six Sigma certification or a project management certification. So any such certification is what we mean by professional certification. So this year, now in this program, we have introduced one professional certification. there are more number of workshops. So at IMT, we have always very firmly believed on the utility of workshop-based courses. How do we define workshop-based courses? Workshop-based courses are those courses that are conducted in one go. Let us say 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, depending upon the scope of the course. So during those days, you will not study anything else. You will only do these courses, and these are absolutely application-based courses. So like in a traditional course, it will be a mix of application orientation, traditional lectures, discussions, all of those, case studies. A workshop-based course will be focused primarily on application and exercises, and the discussion will be embedded in that. And then you will only do this course for a set of 2 to 3 days, and then the course will complete. So as I said, IMT Ghaziabad has always firmly believed in the utility of workshop-based courses. So across the programs, we have workshops. But the change is that this year, we have been able to inculcate, we have been able to bring in more number of workshops than we used to have earlier. This year, earlier, there was never any need or never any mandate from AICT to have a direct credit transfer courses. This year, we have 7 direct credit transfer courses. When I say direct credit transfer courses, I mean, so internationally, there are MOOC courses. MOOC courses are open platforms where faculty from reputed international B schools put up their courses, lectures, video recorded. And they also put up all the exercises, assignments, everything. And any of you can go and enroll in any MOOC course. It is free of cost. But if you want to earn a certificate of that MOOC course, you need to pay a certain fees, which is pretty high, so that you are able to appear into the exam. You are able to take the exam and then you get the course. Government of India has started its own MOOC platform, which is Swayam. And Government of India encourages, AICT encourages, actually strongly encourages, if I may use the term, to have a few courses which students learn through the Swayam platform. So this year, we have 7 such courses. All of these courses have been carefully curated, ensuring that the quality of the course is not in any way compromised. So all of these courses are delivered by IIM Bangalore faculty. They are pre-recorded lectures. Everything is there. You just learn the course at your own pace. You appear for the exam, the date and the time and the venue. So there are multiple Swayam centers, examination centers in every state. You can decide upon the venue. So you appear for the exam and then pass the exam. Once you pass the exam, we get your score sheet, and then we are able to transfer those number of credits into your name. Earlier in the program, there were no Harvard certificate courses. Now there are 4 Harvard certificate courses. Now let me quickly, before proceeding to my next slide, let me quickly spend some time on Harvard certificate courses. Now, what are Harvard certificate courses? Harvard certificate courses are, so Harvard Business Publishing, HBSP, Harvard Business Publishing has some basic fundamental courses listed on its website. The course material, the assignment, everything is a part of the course pack of those courses. If you want to do a Harvard certificate courses individually on your own, I'm not sure first whether you will be allowed to do that. Even if you will be allowed to do that, it will be at a very premium pricing because you will be doing it as an individual. But because IMT Ghaziabad, can make that arrangement for you. So what IMT Ghaziabad has done is we have made that arrangement for you, and we ensure that you do 4 courses, fundamental courses on communication, spreadsheet modeling, financial management, and quantitative methods, financial accounting, and quantitative methods. So these are the 4 basic courses that you do from the Harvard directly. And of course, we help you in getting registered and you getting the course pack and everything. You do the course on your own. You appear for the exam. The exam is generally MCQ exam, multiple choice questions. And we also understand that, you know, a lot of you may not have any background in finance. A lot of you may need a real hand-holding in communication. A lot of you may not have any handhold in spreadsheet modeling, any background in spreadsheet modeling. So what we have done is, these are 20-hour courses, only one is 15 hours. These are otherwise 20-hour courses. So what we have done is, for each of these courses, we offer you a faculty support, which is in the form of 10-hour online tutorial that I was talking about. So wherever you get stuck up, you have a tutorial session. You can reach out to the faculty. The faculty is there in the class, and you can discuss and move forward. This helps you in understanding the course in a better manner, and in understanding the concepts, and also passing the exam, which is a mandatory requirement if you want to earn the certificate and if you want to get that credit transferred. Otherwise, you will obviously not pass in that particular course. So now, if you look at it, what is it that you are getting in this program as a basket? So you know the fees already. Within the fees, you are getting the diploma from IMT Ghaziabad. You are getting a professional certification certificate, which, if you will go and do independently, will cost you exorbitantly. So this is a part of the fee structure. You are getting a professional certificate. You are getting 4 Harvard certificates, Harvard courses certificates, which have their own value in the industry, because I'm sure you will agree that, you know, an institute, A, B, C institute might still need some introduction in the corporate, any institute for that matter. But a Harvard course certificate will need no introduction ever. It in itself establishes your credentials or your merit in that particular course, because otherwise you will not have earned that certificate. So within the same fee structure, you are getting an IMT program diploma, you are getting a professional certificate, you are getting 4 Harvard certificate courses, and you are getting to read 2 track-based specializations, career track-based specializations. Also, you also get the opportunity of an international immersion, which is not part of the program fee. But again, if it permits you, because at a particular point in time, it is not always possible for us to go for an international immersion. But if your situations permit you, an international immersion of 1 week adds a huge learning value into your academic trajectory. How? One, if you want to, where will you go? You go to the most reputed B schools internationally. So when IMT Ghaziabad partners with any international B school, the criteria is only single, that the B school has to have at least 1 international accreditation, EQUIS, AMBA, or ACSP, because that in itself sets the parameter of merit. So all the partners of IMT Ghaziabad are at least have 1 accreditation, or they even might have multiple. So what I'm trying to say here is, you get to get an international immersion opportunity with the most reputed B schools internationally. Now, if you are thinking that we can go there on our own also, yes, you are absolutely right. You can go there on your own also. Challenge is, you cannot go there at the kind of fee that you will pay here as a part of IMT. My colleague sitting here, I myself, We have gone to various, executive learning programs. And we know that when we go there as individuals, the cost is exorbitant. And at times we are not really able to think of certain, programs where we would like to go, but the cost is just beyond our limits. You are getting an opportunity to read 3 courses delivered by international faculty on their campus at a very subsidized cost. So the learning opportunity here is immense. Plus, you get to go there with your peers. So the kind of networking you do with your peers, and also with the international students is it's beyond any price, because you are forming relationships for life. And one of your objective to come into a working executive program is to create a network. So you get to create an international network also. So that is why an international immersion opportunity, if availed by you, is extremely important. This year, the current batch of 2020, 21, 24, and also 2023, because we kind of clubbed both the participants, they are set to go to the Kedge Business School in France, and they will be starting their journey on the 28th of August, and they will be returning on the 3rd of September. So you could be a part of such immersions if you wish to. So this is, this is a brief snapshot about the program. Now, if I spend some time on the specializations, which is the real objective of today's session, to talk more in detail about specializations. So, of course, my colleagues will be talking about these specializations, but let me just spend a couple of time here, a couple of moments. So now you see. So there are 5 specialization tracks, career specialization tracks: leadership and strategy, IT and analytics, applied finance, sales and marketing, supply chains and operations. Now we wanted, and this is a very, very conscious decision, we wanted you to reach 2 specialization tracks. That means we wanted you to choose 2 career specialization tracks. And when we say career specialization tracks, we mean those tracks where you want to, maybe you are in that career trajectory already, and you want to upgrade yourself in that career trajectory, or you are exploring a new career trajectory, and therefore you want to gain some understanding and some expertise on that career trajectory. As I said, these are not merely domain-based specializations, because these are more of a career path that you are choosing for yourself. Now, at IMT Ghaziabad, we were really sure that we want to offer you 2 career tracks, so that if you get a better opportunity in one of the tracks, even if it is not your major, you can do that. So you have 2 career specialization tracks, and let me explain how this works. So there are 5 tracks on offer. Of course, whether a particular track will run or not will depend upon whether it has a reasonable number of subscription or not, but that is more of an operational issue. The point here is you have 5 career specialization tracks. Now let us assume for a moment that you have chosen IT and analytics and sales and marketing, because IT and analytics track is one track that I think will gel with any career track the most, because of the, actually the bursting need
Professor.
Dr. Agarwal, your video has got frozen, I believe.
Rinku ma'am, could you please say? I think Professor will rejoin, sir.
Okay. In the meantime, Rinkuji, should I start my conversation about sales and marketing track? Well, I think the audience must be waiting, so let us not keep them waiting. So Santoshji, I'll start
sir.
my conversation.
Yeah,
Hi,
please.
good evening, everyone. My name is Harvinder Singh, as Dr. Agarwal was kind enough to introduce me. I am a professor in the marketing area, and I also support the career services as chairperson placements. My job gets easier when I talk to a batch of working executive program aspirants, because all of you are already working. Fine. The moment we talk about young MBAs, typical 2-year program in which a young graduate also appears, many of them do not have an idea about the industry requirements and rules. Since you are all from industry, I presume I need not highlight the significance of sales and marketing, right? When we talk about sales and marketing as a track specifically per se, you must be understanding that sales and marketing offer a wide range of roles. So when we talk of creating or offering electives for a batch of experienced professionals, we make sure that the courses are selected and bunched in such a manner that the bunch of courses actually gives you the complete knowledge that makes it easy for you to sustain and thrive in a particular career role. That is the essence of sales and marketing track. Of course, the choice of selective welcome Shaljaji, sorry, in your absence I started the conversation. Hope if you really want to come back to your specialization track discussion, you can start that and I'll resume my conversation after that. You are muted, madam.
First of all, I'm so sorry. I think there was a connectivity issue from my end. So let me quickly complete this side and then Professor Singh will continue.
Sure.
So I was saying that, so you choose 2 tracks, and once you've chosen the tracks, the courses are given by the areas. My faculty colleagues will be talking about how this works and what are their tracks. So I'll not take a lot of time over here. But you are doing 4 courses from each track, and these courses are 30-hour courses each. That means 3 credit courses. Now, if you're doing 4 courses from track 1, if you're doing 4 courses from track 2, how do you choose your major and minor? The major and minor is chosen basis the course of independent study that you are choosing. Now, what is the course of independent study? So we also appreciate the fact that, let's say my marketing faculty and my IT and analytics faculty is here. So let us say they offered 4 courses from their area. But you were very, very interested in a particular, in a particular course. So for example, in IT and analytics, everybody's talking about AI these days. The area might have offered a course on AI also, but you as a participant is very, very interested in a particular aspect of AI, which is, let us say, anthropomorphism. So now you want to deep dive into anthropomorphism, and the area has not offered any course on that. So this is your opportunity to deep dive into a particular, course, into a particular theme, into a particular aspect of a course in any area. So you are interested in anthropomorphism. You let us know as a part of the CIS course of independent study. The program office will attach you to a faculty who can guide you on this, and you do an entire deep dive into anthropomorphism. This is the delivery format that is decided between you and the faculty concerned. So this CIS is 4 credits. So you get 40 hours. Plus, you do a specialization workshop. Now, these are the core workshops where you don't have any choice. Now, here you do a specialization workshop let us say that you wanted to specialize in IT analytics. So as a major, so you chose anthropomorphism as your CIS course. So you earn a 4 credit extra there, and then you do a workshop, obviously on data science and machine learning, because then you earn 2 credits. So you get 6 credits to talk a particular track, to take a particular track as your major specialization. So that is how it works. Without taking your time further, I will request now my colleagues to take this forward. So Professor Singh, you may please continue your discussion on sales and
Thanks,
marketing.
Dr. Agrawal. So let me start the conversation again. So I was actually telling them, talking to students of working executive program is much easier because coming from industry, I need not highlight the importance of marketing. They know that's the revenue center, fine. All other departments might be cost centers, but sales and marketing is revenue center. Now, before I start talking about my courses, bunch of courses, let me assure the participants that the offerings that we are giving from marketing area comes from the strongest area. Dr. Srivastava, Dr. Agrawal will excuse me for saying that, but in terms of faculty strength, we are the largest area. In terms of number of courses offered, we are the largest area. A number of courses subscribed or student subscriptions, again, marketing happens to be the largest area in the flagship program. And our faculty resources come from a very diverse background. So we have people who have their doctorates from the most reputed universities in the world. We have people who have been CEOs in the industry. There are people who were into industry, came into academics, and there are people who started as an academician and then moved on to corporate training in a big way. So the marketing area at IMT Ghaziabad, the resources that we have at your disposal are truly world-class in the sense, look at the profile, go to website, look at the profile. Some of the best, most convincing profiles are there in our area. So the courses are delivered by people who are really capable of. Now, what kind of courses? For example, looking at the whole domain of marketing, from understanding customer needs to creation of products for people, then making them available to people, to post-sales, to the extent of disposal of product. That's the whole range. In the entire range, there are a number of roles. Some roles require customer interface at the front end. Some roles require support at the back end. And some roles require stepping into both these worlds. Accordingly, IMT Ghaziabad has been creating a complete bouquet of courses. So 10-15 years back, the bouquet of courses used to be very, very traditional. So we had courses which were primarily into consumer behavior, sales and distribution, channel management. Then we'll talk about roles like branding and all that. But over the years, we realized that the way marketing is done has changed. So Dr. Santosh Srivastav is with us and he will actually highlight that point. These days, two kind of trends have happened. The number one, a lot of data is being generated on real time. And that is why now the marketers, even the salespeople, need to be intelligent salesmen, data savvy people who can actually make sense out of data. As a result, analytics was one area that marketing area has also imbibed very well. Of course, we have a complete area on IT and analytics. Dr. Srivastava will talk a lot about it. But within marketing domain, we have actually identified courses that are talking about use of data in marketing domain. For example, we have courses that talk about business data, big data in social media marketing. We have a workshop on social visual analytics. Fine. We have a course on marketing analytics. Fine. Of course, for some of these courses, we partner with the IT and analytics domain. Fine. So that's one domain. And honestly speaking, marketing area at IMT Ghaziabad was one of the first in Delhi NCR. We started courses in analytics as early as 2013. The other trend we are observing is the shift towards digital technologies. So, and COVID has taught us that a number of things can be done. digitally without the physical interaction between the service provider and the service receiver. Fine. So we made a very humble beginning with a small course on digital marketing, and over the years we expanded that to social media marketing, as we realized that social media is now becoming a tool for managing business and doing marketing. And then going a step ahead, we also realized that people are accessing the social media and digital platforms through a wonder gadget called a smartphone. So mobile marketing is another domain we are working on. So if we look at the courses that are being offered in marketing area, there are courses which are related to digital domain. There are courses related to analytics domain. Apart from that, there are courses which are very specific to the industry context. For example, those who want to really make a career into say technology selling, so we have courses like B2B marketing and managing IT sales. You can bundle them together. Find those who are really interested in making their career into sales and distribution of FMCG or fast moving consumer durables. We have courses like sales and distribution, rural marketing, channel management. Fine. So accordingly, people can mix and match. Now, coming back to the operational part of it, the area on its part has identified a longer list of courses which might be useful for students of Pgdm working executive, but the exact courses to be offered actually depends on the profile of students, their background, and their career aspirations. And for this, the program office plays the role of the integrator. They get in touch with the students. They take inputs from them in terms of background and career expectations. Then these inputs are shared with the area. And then the area in consultation with the program would offer those specified number of courses that would satisfy the career aspirations of the bunch of students opting for sales and marketing track. And this is a very flexible system. And I must reiterate, though Dr. Agarwal has said it, we at IMT Ghaziabad want to offer you the most diverse and contemporary content. We know we are good, but it does not mean that we believe only we are good. That is why we are open to giving you inputs from IIM Bangalore, from Harvard Business School, from International Business School, and from professional organizations that offer certification. So when you move out after this 2-year, it's a big advantage, it's a 2-year Pgdm now, you will be a well-rounded personality who has received inputs not only from the capable IMT faculty, but from a complete range of information sources from India and abroad. And marketing area through sales and marketing track will completely support this initiative. That's all from my side. I'll be happy to pitch in. If you have any queries, please feel free to type the queries. Over to you, Dr. Agarwal.
Yeah, thank you, Professor. Should I start, Prof?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Professor. I'm Dr. Santosh Srivastav. Currently, I'm working as an associate professor in IMT Ghaziabad. So I'm the area chair for the analytics area also. So analytics is something, that is a buzzword for this decade, actually. And IT, obviously, this is the era of digital transformation, where organizations are moving towards the automation, as Professor has said. So almost every business type is focusing on how they can use analytics to change the way they make the decision. But why it has become so popular? That is the broad question, actually, that we have. And why does almost every company want to hire the business analysts or the data professionals these days? So the reasons behind this swift drive are need, availability, and affordability. These are the three important factors that the emergence of the data science, either the data analytics, IT. So starting with the first factor, if I explain about the businesses are in constant pressure to innovate due to the increasing competitions. So when it comes to the innovation, so obviously when it comes to the innovation, because the customers are very demanding, the need of the customer is changing over the time. So understanding the customer, analyzing the customer, and then making the product that is most optimal for them is not easy every time. And to survive in market, obviously managers must make the best decision promptly to make the market driven forces. And probably the analytics is just something. Analytics is a very promising method, is a very promising approach this time that can help managers to make better and faster decision. The decision is data-driven decisions. Probably the data-driven decision is one of the evidence where the chances of taking a decision that may be false in future is a very less. Because in this VUCA world, if you're making a decision based on the subjectivity, that has always a question. So when it comes to the availability and affordability, so obviously the organizations are collecting tremendous data over the time. So there was a survey done by the McKinsey that millions GB of data is collected every day by the banking, finance, and insurance company. Similarly, with the social media, huge amount of data is available. So you are free to express your review. You are free to express your sentiment, and you can express your view and sentiment in the form of images, in the form of audio, in the form of video. So now you can feel how much huge amount of data, that is mix of structured and unstructured, every day you are generating on the social media. And it is a huge challenge for the industry. So the challenge comes from the two sides. The first side, how they can store this huge amount of data. So the storage is another issue. The second issue, they are unable to get the proper skillful employee, proper skillful professionals who can deal with this huge amount of unstructured data to make some insights for the businesses. So basically to have a very competitive edge, while you have to save the time and money both, business analytics, if the data science has gained a lot of hype among the businesses today. So today, businesses, irrespective of size, they are using IT and analytics tool. So some of the analytics tools are very prominent in industry that most of the industries are using, as Professor was saying, data visualization tool like Tableau and Power BI, data scraping tool like Python, R, SAS, maybe advanced Excel. So how these tools and how the appropriate technique you can identify to collect the data, to explore the data, to curate the data, and finally extracting some useful information that can make some, how data can be leveraged to solve some business issues. So these business decisions you can implement in your industry. So the total idea is analytics is booming because now industries have enough capacity to store the data. We know how much advancement is there in the hardware industry. So we have the tool like the big data tool like the Hadoop, Pig, Hive. Obviously, these tools will help you to understand how you store the data in a very optimal way, because if you need a more space, then you have to pay more. In another way, analytics is a list of tools where you will learn how to collect it, because the data collection is one of the very rigor process. Every day we are busy with the Google. We are searching on Google with the various steps. Since morning when we woke up, we start searching on Facebook, Google, and social media. So every day, huge amount of data each individual is generating, and going through each individual's data, understanding the need, and then offering the most optimal product is just something that data science can help you. So if I take some of the examples where industries are making more huge amount of money by using this data science approach is like sales and inventory forecasting. We have example of airlines industry, how the dynamic pricing has for the same seat, they are offering 2,000 rupee, and for the same seat, they are charging 20,000 rupee. So how they are playing with the time, that's a dynamic fare. Dynamic pricing is one of the area where the airlines industry is using. And if I talk about marketing, enhance the customer experience, just a minute. Enhance the customer experience, and then make informed decisions, reduce the employee turnover, improving the efficiency, identifying the fraudulent transactions, reducing the manufacturing cost, improving the advertising on the social media, customer segmentation for the better reach, predicting fraud in financial transactions. You know, millions of transactions are happening every day. So how the banking, insurance, and finance industry have secured these transactions by using the data science approach. And obviously dealing with the social media data that is highly unstructured, where data is mixed with the images, audio, video, text, numbers. So it is not easy to deal with the data. So huge opportunities there in industry. And as Professor has said, some of you have a good experience in industry and you want to switch your career in a data science. So probably this may be the very suitable place where you can opt this track if you are really, if you really like the number crunching, I'll say. So IT analytics area specialization is intended to equip participants with analytical tools, methodology to solve the business and social issues. This specialization will enable participants to define the problem, use analytical tools and techniques to deal these highly unstructured data, because most of the data that you will encounter for a business issue, they are highly unstructured in nature. So if I take an example from the Amazon, so if you have to buy a product from the Amazon, obviously you have to go through the reviews, but you consider if reviews are 20,000 in numbers. So going to the 20,000 reviews, understanding is the product good or bad, either which attribute of the product people are appreciating, which attribute of the product people are complaining, how many percentage of people have a positive sentiment for the product, how many percentage of people have the negative sentiment of the product. So this is not the easy task actually, collecting 20,000 reviews. As obviously some reviews may be in Hindi, some reviews may be in English, some reviews may be in other languages. So how you convert all these reviews into the same language, you clean this data, you make some beautiful results so others can use. So ideally this is a very long process, and the whole process obviously you're going to learn in this specialization if someone opt this. So this specialization will enable to participant to define the problem, use analytical tools and techniques to deal the highly unstructured data, to gain some useful insights, obviously for the better business decisions. So ideally, if you ask, IT analytics specialization is not in isolation. So whole specialization will create acumen within the participants and will help how they can solve issues related to the marketing. It may be the problem related to the HR, it may be a problem related to the finance and operation. So tool and technique you're going to use from IT analytics, but ideally you're going to solve the problem that you encounter from marketing, HR, finance, and operation. So probably you people, the participants of this course have the good experience of industry, so they know how the businesses functions. And obviously some courses are there from marketing, finance, and HR. So after attending this course, if you go for this specialization, so probably the 70% part is done, because you know how industry functions, right? So the only problem, the only thing that you have to encounter, how you deal with the data, how you scrap the data, and then how you extract some useful information from the data. So the whole purpose of offering the fact-based specialization to help you, because maybe some of you want to switch your career from one specialization to analytics profile, like Professor has said. So we have a list of courses, 1 or 2 courses that is a compulsory course for everyone, because we believe, based on the industry feedback, based on the mentors, based on the other partners of this program, we believe that being little bit technical, analytical mind is always better for any manager. So whatever the industry you are working, maybe you are in HR profile, maybe you are in fintech profile, either the operations profile, being techie, being little bit analytical bend is always useful for the participants. So based on, through all these analysis, The first course that is compulsory for everyone is a very basic course that we call as a business analytics course. And obviously this is a very basic, but the application based course where the participant will learn and will be trained on how to deal with the structured data, some of the basic descriptive predictive analytics, using some basic tools like Python and R. So business analytics course, because maybe some participants are completely new for data crunching. So maybe, you don't have any experience into the data crunching. So this is a very basic course, probably, which will help you to understand, which will help you to explore how data can be utilized for the business decisions. So if I talk more about the business analytics course, it will help you to understand some basic concepts of the analytics and the reason behind their inclusion as a part of business strategy, as this is specialization, to gain an understanding of how managers are using business analytics to formulate and solve the business problems, and how these insights are going to use the manager, will support the managerial decision making. This course will also help you to examine various applications of analytics in business domains, but the course is fully focused on the structured data, because this is the first course where probably everyone is going through. And obviously, you will learn to identify, evaluate, and capture the business analytics opportunities that create value using the machine learning and statistical techniques. So another workshop, as Professor has already told, about the data science and machine learning. This is a very important workshop. This workshop is, the course name is itself Data Science and Machine Learning Workshop. So it is a workshop mode delivery, but here we are more focused on the practical aspect than the technical part, because in the first course you have the enough learning how you can deal with the data. So in this course you will learn how you can deal with the unstructured data, because in industry, where you're going to work, most of the time you're going to encounter with the unstructured data, where the data is mixed with the images, audio, video. The social media data is highly unstructured by nature. So this course is fully focused on how you extract the unstructured data, how you clean the unstructured data, because if you have a little bit experience in analytics industry, so 80% of the analytics managers, they are busy with dealing with cleaning the data. So the cleaning part takes the more time than taking the the modeling part. So cleaning is one of the basic, one of the important aspect of any data related project. So this course is fully focused to identify how you clean with the data, how you extract the data, probably the unstructured data, and then some advanced analytics method. Obviously, you have to go through, such as RFM, recommendation system. How the Amazon and Flipkart is using recommendation system to make 40% more amount, and the sentiment analysis. So the sentiment analysis is another area what industries are working. They are always willing to know what customers are thinking about their product. So they collect the data from the social media, they conduct the sentiment analysis, and probably they try to identify what are the areas where improvement is required. So beyond these two courses, obviously we have a list of courses, because there is a list of courses that we offer to the Pgdm full-time program. So in the Pgdm full-time program, analytics electives are very popular. Most of the electives that we offer, we always get the good number of subscriptions. So some of the electives, if I explain one of the electives that probably we were thinking to offer in this track-based specialization, is the data analytics with R. So this is a very popular course into the Pgdm full-time as well as the Pgdm executive batch also. So we know, this course is fully focused on dealing with the textual data. Dealing and scrapping of highly unstructured textual information is very hard. So basically the data related project has the two aspects. The first aspect is collecting the data. That is one of the difficult part of any data science project, any data science related job. And the second part comes to the analysis. So collecting data from any e-commerce industry, maybe Amazon, Flipkart, collecting data from the YouTube itself, because a lot of the reviews, a lot of the comments, a lot of the information we can extract from the YouTube as well. Collecting the data from the social media platforms, maybe Twitter, maybe LinkedIn, maybe Facebook. So the course Data Analytics with R will create acumen within participants, how you can collect the data from the social media platform. So what are the ways of collecting data from these platforms, and then how you clean these data, because cleaning is the one process where you may lose a lot of information from the data. So you have to be very careful. So the whole course is structured in such a way, it starts from scrapping the data, goes till creating some business decisions, creating some insightful information from the data. So this is the one course that we were thinking we can offer. And the second course is a very popular course, that AI for manager. We know the advanced part of the machine learning and data analytics is artificial intelligence. So most of the company, obviously, they are moving towards the automation to save the money and time both. So the artificial intelligence is being implemented in all the domain of management. We as know, marketing, finance, human resource. So the focus of this course, AI for manager, is on equipping students with the tools and techniques used in the field of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is something that is very vast in nature. So obviously it has been divided into the two parts, machine learning and deep learning. And half of the course is fully focused on the machine learning, collecting the data, creating a model, deployment of your model in industry, and then tracking the model. So it starts from scratch. So the different, obviously, the course will focus on the different types of learning as well, like a supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. So obviously it will cover some of the AI related tools and technique. So this is the one of the very popular course in the Pgdm executive batch, Pgdm full-time batch. So we thought at least these are the two courses that we can offer from the analytics department, from the analytics area. And from the IT area also, because the IT analytics, these are the two, these are in the intersection. These are not something that is disjoint. Since because IT analytics, they are the part of each other. So once you make a model by using the appropriate tool and techniques from analytics, so obviously you have to deploy it, right? You have to make an API, you have to make an app, and you have to deploy these software, these techniques, these models. So there is a list of courses that you will get from the IT, like IT for consultants. This is a very popular course that probably you will get here if you opt the specialization from the IT and analytics area. And obviously there is a courses from the blockchain that is a very popular, the security and privacy is another issue. Every day the huge amount of data is, accumulated by the companies. And as well as the advancement is going on, a lot of frauds are also happening. It may be financial transaction related fraud. It may be the data privacy related fraud. So I think the blockchain related courses are also there that probably you have to go through if you have opportunity. Yeah, Professor.
Thank you so much, Professor Srivastav. Thank you so much, Professor Singh, for a very detailed explanation about the backdrop of each of the career tracks and what the tracks have to offer. So we are open to any questions now. Rinku, if you may please coordinate and let us know if there are any questions. We will be happy to answer.
Just give me a second, ma'am. Just give me.
Yes.
No, I've just posted, just had a look.
I just want to understand by when will the specializations be finalized? What if, for example, the specialization that gets finalized is IT and analytics and the students? Okay. So if I may answer this question, Professor Singh and Professor Srivastav.
Please go ahead.
Sir, I've not seen the question actually. Where it is?
It is in the chat.
I can't see, ma'am, here.
Just go to the down ribbon. There is an option of chat.
That's true, but then there's no
It is
content
blank.
visible.
Achha, so basically,
Yes,
maybe she has sent it only to me. Yeah.
you only, ma'am.
Only so the question is, okay, I will read it for everybody. So the question is, I just want to understand by when will the specializations be finalized? What if, for example, the specialization that gets finalized is IT and analytics and marketing, and the student is looking for supply chain management and operations? So let me clarify, all the 5 specializations are there on offer. It is for you to decide as an individual student which are the 2 track-based specializations you want to choose, which means all the individual participants in the program can choose any combination of the 2 tracks out of the 5 available. So it is not that once the participant pool is in, we decide that out of the 5, 2 will run. All the 5 will run simultaneously, and you may choose any permutation and combination. The only thing is that if, for example, a particular specialization has a very low number, and let us say not even 10% of the batch or 8% of the batch has not, subscribed to that specialization, then it is difficult to offer the specialization, because then the class size becomes a great limitation for the faculty to run an effective class. So as on date, all the 5 specializations are on offer, and hopefully all the 5 specializations will be finally offered. It's not that we will choose 2 specializations finally.
Let me add one thing, because we are offering dual specialization. Each student can opt for 2 specialization, equal number of courses. So chances of more specializations getting picked up is very high.
Yes, it is very, very high. Actually, it will be very difficult. I think it will be rare if a particular specialization is not picked up. Then the follow-up question is, what about the courses in the specialization which we choose? Okay, so I think my colleagues have already talked about it, but let me put it in perspective here. So you will be, so there are 4 courses in each. You are doing 8 courses, 4 from one, 4 from the other. Now, where do these 4 courses come from? These are compulsory courses. You are not getting a choice here. These are compulsory. So anybody who has chosen, let's say, sales and marketing as a track is compulsorily reading those 4 courses. But these 4 courses come from a mutual, there are 2 criteria in the offering of the courses. Number 1, what is the contemporary industry requirement? That is very, very important for us. And you being professionals, we assume that you will, bring that information on the platter for us. Of course, the faculty in the concerned area, the area chairs who are sitting here for 2 areas, they have their own understanding, and they are, all of us are in, on a daily basis, we are in touch with the industry for something or the other, for a training program, for a research project, for something or the other. So we also have our own understanding. So one is, as I said, there are 2 criteria. 1, what is the most relevant as perceived by the industry on the given date? Number 2, let us say marketing, sales and marketing. Let us say there are 20 participants who want to take the specialization of sales or marketing, or who want to take the specialization of IT and analytics. The faculty concerned, the program office, as Professor Singh was mentioning, coordinates here, and most preferably the program office arranges a meeting between the area and the participants, so that there is an absolute understanding on what the participants want to read and what the faculty thinks is required. And basis mutual understanding, we decide the final course. And that is precisely the reason we have not mentioned the final elective course list in the architecture, because that will be decided at a later point in time, basis a discussion with the interested participants and the area. I hope I have answered that question. Is there any other question, Rinku?
I have posted one more. Maybe that was the last one now.
So you have posted 2 questions. One was the main question, one was the follow-up.
Yes.
That's it, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then in that case, I think we can wind the session up, Rinku.
Yes, ma'am, we can. Yes.
Okay. So thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today on behalf of my colleagues, my team here, and IMT Ghaziabad. I thank all of you for joining today. Special thanks to Professor Singh, Professor Srivastav, Rinku, and Mr. Bhupender here for joining in. Thanks a lot. Have a nice evening ahead.
Thanks,
Thank
Dr.
you so
Agarwal.
much. Thanks.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you.